I know that this has been a very difficult few days for all of us. Regardless of where you stand on this budget, the choices that we have faced are very hard ones, I know, for everyone. A few weeks ago, the effects of the budget for me really came to light. I was invited to speak at a rally here on the South Steps, as we see many rallies during the legislative session. And it was a group of parents who were here with their medically fragile kids. These were kids that were on wheelchairs, many who couldn't talk, who were literally writhing in their chairs, many of them on oxygen. And I spoke, and there were probably 100, 150 people there. And I said, we'll do everything that we can to help you. There are many of us here that are going to fight these cuts. And as I was walking back into the Capitol, there was a woman that had a picture of a child, a young boy. And I asked her in a tone that I think now was a little too chipper. I said, "Oh, is that your son?" She said, "Yeah, that was my son. He died in 2003 after the cuts that the legislature made back then." Where do you go in that conversation after that? This budget and this bill represent more than anything else a choice that the Republican majority is making. We're not confined by political or economic fate to accept this budget, to forego the priorities of education and health care and nursing homes. This is a choice. What I could have told that woman was that this legislature, instead of choosing your kids and your folks, they're choosing not to raise the cigarette tax by 25 cents or 50 cents. They're choosing not to close corporate loopholes so they can raise more revenue. They're choosing not to do any gaming. They're making that choice. They are sacrificing you because they don't want to close any tax loopholes, because they don't want to raise any new revenue. 80,000 kids are not going to get their scholarships and grant money because of this bill. 43,000 people are going to get kicked out of nursing homes or denied nursing home entrance because of this bill. 335,000 jobs, Texas jobs, are going to go away because of this bill. You know, oftentimes when you propose a piece of legislation, and I think the freshmen will understand this as you serve here in your first and second and third term, anything you do that looks like it'll kill jobs or hurt jobs, people will say, well, we can't do that because you're going to hurt jobs, you're going to kill jobs, you're going to hurt economic development. This bill is hurting economic development. You're killing 335,000 jobs. So just as the argument that if you raise taxes, we don't want to raise taxes because we're going to hurt jobs. Well, you're killing 335,000 jobs. So does that mean that you may as well raise taxes? Saturday was a very odd day. This is my 5th term here, and I've never seen people argue the way I saw on Saturday night or Friday night. What I saw was a kind of fiscal cannibalism on this floor. People trying to take money from senior citizens or college students to give to senior citizens, from state hospitals to give to college students, from one person's district because it would benefit another person's district. And I couldn't help but think that the reason that we became fiscal cannibals here is because the governor of the state of Texas put the legislature in this sandbox, which many folks here refuse to get out of. He has said that he doesn't want to use any more of the rainy day fund, that he doesn't want to raise revenue. And so everybody becomes a cannibal trying to take from each other. I don't think that we should be trapped by the ideology of one person with political ambition. Trapped by the political ambition of one governor. These are false choices that we make. Finally, after I finished that rally, I came back to my office and they gave me a DVD, and I watched this DVD on the medically fragile kids. And I really started to wonder why. Well, why are you here? I'm sure all of us have wondered that at one time or another. And you tell people that come into your office, they ask you to help, and you tell them, yeah, of course I'm going to help. And you realize that they got to convince somebody else if they're going to be successful. That's quite a powerless feeling in politics. So when I speak to the folks, I had an amendment for the medically fragile kids. I think it was on page 213 or 214. I'll tell them that it was struck down by a point of order because we can't take from the governor's emerging technology fund. Thank you.